Welcome back, everyone, to the Stay Introverted Podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Coleman,
And I am your other co-host, Steph Laffey.
and today we have a special episode for you. Steph, we are officially getting close to the holiday season, and that
That's
means
crazy.
it
Before
is.
we even tell anybody what this episode is about, can we just take a moment of silence for the fact that it's almost the end of 2023? I swear to God, it's still 2021.
I'm right there with you. I looked up and it's like the end of October, and I'm like, wasn't it just like February last week?
Literally. I'm still writing the date wrong. I don't know if it's just me or if this is a normal thing. But I'm still writing 2021.
I think for me, because I work from home a lot, so sometimes a lot of these days just like run together.
Right.
It's just
I mean, I don't even have that excuse. I literally work in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so many of my deadlines are very specific days of the month. But I'm over here 2021.
I mean that
I don't.
that
Why am
is.
I so fixated on 2021? That wasn't even a great year for me.
I was going to ask because that's very interesting because I know for me you know I lose track of months but not years. So why why,
I
why?
don't know. I'm stuck.
Oh my goodness.
So
Well,
weird.
well, we need you to move up a little bit because at the time of this recording here, Thanksgiving is a few weeks away, and for introverts as such as myself and you, we know that Thanksgiving, while it can be a lot of fun, there are challenges for introverts.
Mm-hmm.
And today we want to talk about a few of those and how we can try to navigate Thanksgiving as an introvert.
Right. And just so you guys know, this is sort of a pre-Thanksgiving mental and emotional therapy session for both of us before we dive into the actual holiday. So, we're kind of pre-coaching ourselves and getting ourselves ready for the holidays. So hopefully this will be helpful for you guys as well.
Exactly. So,
So,
so
you go. You
yes,
go.
thank you. I appreciate that. So, like I said before, Thanksgiving can be rough for introverts. We value our alone time. We value our time and space to recharge. Solitude is very important to us, and that can be very hard, particularly when you're around friends and family, many of
Hmm.
whom you may not have seen for a few months or a few years. We are trying to come out of a pandemic, so there are friends and family that you may literally have not seen for years, and who, of course, want to talk to you and know
Make
how.
small talk.
Yes, the dreaded small talk, and just want to get up to date and up to speed on what you've been doing. And while we do love our friends and family, sometimes it can be a bit much. Would you
Hmm.
agree?
Absolutely. And, I think for me, I don't know about you, but I usually have to attend more than one Thanksgiving, or maybe I'm confusing it with Christmas. I don't remember. Um, but because Sean and I are married, we have a couple of different families in the area, and we have to attend all the different Thanksgivings. So it's by the time I settle in, it's we're leaving to go to the next one.
Well, that's actually a very interesting point. I guess I want to explore that. That I hadn't even really considered that. I'm not, not married, so I typically just choose a particular Thanksgiving function to attend, whether it's
Hmm.
an actual, Thanksgiving with friends and family, or if for whatever reason I can't make it, maybe like a office shindig. But
Hmm.
as someone who is married, how do you manage that? Like, how do you manage the expectations of having to attend multiple Thanksgiving events.
Wine. If I'm being honest. Although this year I'm not really drinking, so
I was
that
about to
should be
say, like,
interesting.
did we not just go over this in a previous episode? Where
Yeah. Yeah. So previously a lot of red wine, espresso martinis help to ease the nerves. But I'm not really gonna be drinking this holiday season. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. Um but I'm also a lot more confident and comfortable in my own skin. So I don't know that I'll need, like, I don't know that I'll have the compulsion to have a glass of wine or five, um, because I feel a lot more comfortable talking to my family members and talking to Sean's family members. So, um, I'm actually excited for this year with this like newfound ability to have a conversation without like freaking out. Um, but it definitely helps that our families live about 20 minutes apart because that's like a nice little like recharge time in between. Um, Definitely a lot of recharging, a lot of visits to the bathroom to like recalibrate, reset. Um, and the nice part is that when we get to my family's house, we do it at my parents' house. So I have my own bedroom there. When my grandparents are staying there, I can just go in the basement. So I have lots of room to just decompress if I get overwhelmed or too full, which happens.
Okay, I get it. But that actually brings us to our first sort of introvert tip on how to survive the Thanksgiving madness, which is to take breaks.
Mm-hmm.
As you pointed out, I think that's very important. When I was younger, and then I had to visit a relative, visit a friend for Thanksgiving, it could quickly get out of hand as far as my energy level and my social battery. So I started doing what I started doing was kind of doing a walk around as far as I could of like the house or wherever I was at. Try to try to scout a good kind of sneak away location.
Oh,
or
so you weren't at your house. You were at somebody else's house.
yeah, if there were sometimes I had Thanksgiving at my house, and of course, there's always my room, but people know that's my room. So I actually learned that's probably the worst place for me to be. So
Interesting.
yeah, like I always try to go where people don't expect me to be. So
Interesting. Okay.
yes, but I try. So if I'm home, I'll try to find a different room that is quiet, that people really shouldn't be going into, like my parents' room. People aren't supposed
Mm.
to go. People aren't supposed to go in there. So hey, I'm a chill.
That's
Um,
actually funny that you say that because even though I have my room and the basement, which are huge, and the closet if I really need, I always end up in my parents' room. And I guess it's probably because it's just sort of uh, an unspoken fact that you just don't go into the master bedroom
mhm.
in someone else's house.
Yeah,
Interesting. I never even thought, like, I never even realized that I do that, but maybe that's why.
I think that's part of it. But I mean, for me, anyone that knows me knows that I'm going to be in my room reading or playing a game or listening to music. So like for most folks, that's the first place they will look. So so I quickly learned that I had to find a new recharging location.
Recharge station.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what I did. If I'm at a friend's house or a relative's house, hopefully I've been there before, so I kind of know a particular room. But if not, I'll just do a quick scout, and just try to find a nice quiet place.
Go on
Sometimes
the roof.
go,
Just
I'm
kidding.
sorry, go
Go,
go
go, on,
where?
go on the roof.
Go on
No
the
one,
roof.
no one's gonna look at me there in November.
It's just true. But yeah, maybe not the roof, but definitely outside. Sometimes I've definitely
Just kidding.
not.
I would fall and die.
Yeah, I mean, particularly on those angled roofs. But yeah, I've definitely just grabbed a coat or whatever and kind of just chill outside for a few minutes before I've begrudgingly walk back inside.
That's so
And
funny.
and again, it's not that I don't want to be there or that I don't like the people that I'm around. It's just as introverts, we lose energy the longer we're around certain people or people in general. So
Right,
we just need to take a break. It's nothing personal.
right.
Um, I will say it's become a lot easier to explain as I've gotten older because I can just say, yeah, I need a break. This is why. Um, if someone presses, I can always give kind of a quick primer on being an introvert. As a
Hmm.
kid, it's like, how do you don't even know what being an introvert is. You don't know what
Right,
introversion is. So it's hard to sort of articulate how you're feeling. And then
right.
depending on how you're raised, you might be accused of being
Being
smart
rude.
or yeah being rude or talking back. So you learn pretty quickly to kind of just it's not worth the trouble trying to explain. Just go when no one's looking and
Right,
and then pop back up when you have to. But yeah, breaks are definitely important. uh, they are key.
right.
I would definitely recommend taking as many breaks as you need to.
Yeah, just check in with yourself in between conversations. And you can. I know for me, my family watches football, which actually kind of helps a little bit because a lot of people are just distracted by the game. So I'm personally do not give a shit about football. I don't know what's going on. Um, so when I see that my family is like really intrigued by the game, it's a great time to take a break and slip away for 20 minutes without anybody really noticing.
Yes,
So if people are kind of involved in whatever they're doing and you can sort of sneak away for 10 minutes while everybody else is preoccupied, if feeling like you're being rude is something that is a concern to you, that could be a good option.
most definitely. One of my
Or,
favorite little tips is I actually like to volunteer to run errands. Like if someone needs me to go,
oh, genius.
if someone needs something from the store, I'm your guy.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot marshmallows for the sweet potato pie? I got them.
I got you. And it just
That's
it just so
awesome.
it just so happens that I have to go to 5 stores. That sucks, man.
They all did not have the mini marshmallows. I don't know what
They
to tell you.
they did not. They really did not. It took all day to get these marshmallows. I am so sorry. I missed out on all this conversation. Yeah.
I would deeply regret it. Um, I'm curious if you think, because I never really thought about this before, but I'm curious if the reason that I feel like I need a lot of recharge time and a lot of breaks, particularly on Thanksgiving and holidays where there's just a lot of food, is because I'm just stuffing my face and like with like all of this like high carb, high fat food, which tends to make me tired. And I feel like the more that I stuff my face, the more tired I get. And now my body just has no capacity to also focus on a conversation.
Hmm. That's an interesting. I guess I never thought about that. That I guess that connection with such stuff in your face and being an introvert. Like I do know that yes, it's definitely a more likelihood of feeling tired and needing to rest. But I don't know. That's definitely a good question. I guess I'll toss it to our listener community. I'm curious
Mhm.
what they think. I actually don't know.
Yeah. I know that, like, obviously food gives me energy when I'm eating like a normal amount, but like when I'm eating a Thanksgiving amount, which is like to the point of a stomach ache, it definitely slows me down. Um, I mean, I don't know if it was probably the wine too. And also the lack of confidence. There was a lot going on there. Um, maybe this year, on top of just limiting my wine intake and having more confidence, I'll try to eat like a normal person instead of like I've never seen food in my life, and I'll report back.
Yes, yes. Report back to the class. But that's actually a good point. As I sit here and think, I'm thinking, yeah, like when normally when I eat or I'm eating, I'm not really trying to have a conversation. I think that also, you know, if I'm eating a lot, so, particularly at Thanksgiving, I do think I'm less likely to try to have a discussion, try to engage in a discussion.
Well, your mouth is kind of busy, so.
That too, but I just like thinking back, I've definitely just been less into it overall. Like not even trying to hear what's going on. I just kind of want to eat my food and go, go rest.
Right.
So I don't know how folks can stuff their face and then have a full on conversation after that. That's too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have the benefit of one, not being able to multitask, and everybody in my family knows that. And two, not being able to hear when I'm not able to like look at your lips. Um, so if I'm preoccupied with my food, which I typically am, it's kind of in a way a bit of a recharge station in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating, I can't hear you.
I do want to know what you think about this possibility. You know, Thanksgiving can be I don't know, controversial time
Oh,
because I guess
in
unlike,
today's world, oh yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I guess, and sometimes Christmas can be that way too, but I think for some reason
Mhm.
it happens more often during Thanksgiving where you have people with just so many different like opinions and they feel like Thanksgiving dinner is the appropriate time to just share all these different opinions about whatever. It's
It's
like
like they've been collecting all their thoughts all year long, just waiting to unload them at the Thanksgiving table.
exactly. Uncle Smoke Eye, just been sitting on these political opinions for 11 months, and now he just has to share it with his family because, gosh darn it,
Right.
this world's going to hell in a handbag, and he's the last line of defense. And
Well,
it's
you
just like
you haven't heard from him since Christmas, so
he
I
hasn't.
wonder if that's why Christmas is not as bad because you just saw everybody at Thanksgiving and you've already unloaded,
I will hope so.
or
I
you
will
just
hope so.
you got angrier and now you have more to say.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
to that I would say so. My family is definitely fairly divided. Um, but it hasn't. I can't remember the last time it got contentious or crazy, and it can be really overwhelming. I know. I'm very lucky in that everybody in my family is very respectful, even if they don't agree. Um, but I know maybe that's just my opinion. Like my family members might have a different opinion. Um, I know, like for me, I think that if you truly believe what you believe and you truly stand by like your view of the world and your view of like what's going on, then who gives a shit what Uncle Tom has to say or Uncle Rudy or whoever. I don't know where these names are coming from. I have neither in my family. Uncle David, Uncle Michael. Those are names in my family. Um, but seriously, if you if you feel good about your opinions about like current issues, or if you don't give a shit, then don't let yourself get caught up in other people's opinions. You don't have to take them on. And to me, I actually have learned to look at Thanksgiving debates as an opportunity to hear the opposite side of what I think, and kind of explore my beliefs a little bit and see if they can actually stand up against differing opinions. And for me, like, once I let go of like, oh, this person doesn't agree with me, and I learned how to just listen and hear the other side of things, it actually became really interesting. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And I'm kind of the same way. I've definitely been lucky throughout my life where discussions haven't gotten to a really contentious point. I think like the most contentious thing I've experienced was like there was an argument over a football game. So
wow, I was not expecting you to say that.
Yeah, like that.
There you go.
Yeah, but it can be tough. Not just during Thanksgiving, but the actual kind of anticipation.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, just kind of, or I guess I should say anxiety for some, because you're kind of, as introverts do, we can get in our own heads and we may overthink about all of these different conversations that we have to have
right
with people we may or may not want to have conversations with. There's always one that we may actually be cool with and we actually look forward to talking to. But yeah, there may be an Aunt Ruby who just says something out of pocket every year,
right
and you're thinking, how am I going to navigate that, particularly if she says that out of pocket thing to me?
So right. So I think, for me, one of the ways that I've really learned to just stand tall and firm in my own opinions is like, and the way that I prepare myself for potentially contentious conversations is I have just learned how to ask myself, like, what do I believe about this particular topic that might come up in conversation? Why do I believe this? Like, why is this important to me? And like, what potential arguments like can I anticipate? And how do I mentally and emotionally support myself if those arguments come up? And if you just kind of have a game plan, you're less likely to go in like freaking out, and it's less likely to blow up. So that's kind of what I would advise if you're somebody who feels really anxious in the anticipation of what people might say about something that you feel really strongly about.
Absolutely. And if it gets too hectic, as always, take a break.
Take a break. Yeah. If you don't like where the conversation's going, like, who says you can't take a break?
Yeah.
You literally can just say, you know what, like, thank you for sharing your opinion. I'm just, I need to go check my phone. You don't even have to make it about like the topic of conversation or why you feel upset if you don't feel comfortable. Or you can have a signal with somebody that you're really comfortable with, like, to kind of save you from the conversation. Like, there's so many things that you can do in anticipation of conversations getting out of hand.
Most definitely. So
suddenly you have to pee. Suddenly you need a glass of wine. Suddenly you are craving the baked brie that mom just pulled out of the oven. Like, you can just operate on a whim. Or you can say you're an asshole and then walk away, but that might not go over too well.
No, but I think it'll definitely make Thanksgiving a lot more exciting.
Yeah, you probably might feel really good about it. If you finally tell Uncle Michael that he's an asshole.
Yeah, Because I mean, just like there's an Uncle Michael who is an asshole. There's always that other relative who likes instigating and be like, "Yeah, you tell him he
Yeah,
ass." So just you get his,
exactly.
you know. So like I said, it definitely will be more exciting. But Thanksgiving can be rough for us introverts. Another thing that I used to do was like sneak in a book to read or a
Smart.
magazine to read. Yeah, it was a lot harder when I was a kid because again, you get accused of being rude or antisocial, or disrespectful. So but I actually got around that by just reading the books that were wherever I was going. So
Okay.
if I couldn't bring my own, I'm sure that someone has some sort of book I can read. So I would just take my break, go find a book,
Hmm.
a nice little book to read, and then go back.
Right. Read a
But
chapter or five and rejoin the family.
exactly. And if there are any extroverts out there thinking that you're just being antisocial or being rude, again, it's not that. It's just we lose energy through social interaction typically.
Right.
It
It's like,
obviously it varies from person to person, but for the most part, we need to sometimes, most of the time, step away to be able to recharge. Whereas
right.
we, we 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 don't gain our energy typically through social interaction. So I'm not
Right.
we're not telling people to not be social or not be polite. We're just telling folks,
Be
hey,
mindful. Be mindful
exactly,
because there's a lot of people talking all at once, and each conversation really takes it. It's like that analogy that we used in one of our previous episodes where we were talking about, like, typically if you're at home with your laptop's plugged in. But if you're out and about, you don't have your plug. As you're doing stuff and as you're like kind of going through the motions, your laptop is running out of battery. And that's kind of how introverts are. Each conversation takes away from our battery.
exactly, and we have to go recharge.
Right.
Just how
And
it is.
you'll actually like us better if we recharge. Like a lot of my friends and family nowadays like don't even really remember what I was like in my quiet, shy days because I seem like I'm always on, but I've learned how to sort of make my escape and go recharge in like a more natural way. So I'll go to the bathroom or I'll go fix my makeup or I'll go change my outfit 50 times. Like, if anybody's listening, you're probably going to notice this more that I do this. I'm constantly going to the bathroom. It's not because I have to go to the bathroom, it's because I need to recharge.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I don't think a lot of people understand just how real like over overstimulation is to
Oh my
us.
God, yes.
Like just know, walking, just being in a room full of dozens of people, chatting, laughing, talking, singing. You got music going on. You got TV going on. You got little kids running around. You got the sound of like
Mhm.
pots and pans clanging about as dinner
Well,
gets
I can't hear
prepared.
that.
No, like it's a lot, and it can be very overstimulating. I know for me personally, I have to go away and just go somewhere quiet because it's too much. I
Right.
can't deal with it, and I'm curious if you've ever kind of experienced that.
Oh yeah. I mean, like definitely, like too much at once. I've gotten better at it over the years. Especially because my friends, like, I went to like a very loud university, very big football school, and my friends are all like from New York, Philly. Um, so we're all they're all pretty loud. Everyone's always talking at once. So that helped me to sort of get used to like just like a lot of talking all at once. And then on top of that, I don't hear a lot of sounds because I have a 30% hearing loss in my left ear and 20% in my right ear. So I almost think that like that's like one of my introvert shields, if you will. It protects me from all the noises that other introverts have to listen to. But I definitely do get like overwhelmed to the point of having to just make my escape, even if it's just for a couple of minutes.
Nice. Yeah, overstimulation it's a thing. It really is.
Absolutely, especially in like situations where like there's like I get overstimulated by small talk, which sounds really weird. But like if I have the same small talk conversation like 5 people in a row, I'm like, I need to like chill for a second. I can't have that same combo again.
Well, yeah, I can totally agree because that's it's the same. How have you been? What are you up to? It can get very
Like it
boring.
sounds weird. I don't even know if that would be considered overstimulation or just like am I really repeating myself right now? But
Well, I can also tell you that I do not like repeating myself or
right.
saying the same thing, the same story over and over. Like to me, I can just feel all of the energy draining out of me when I have to do
Right.
that.
Right. It's not even like overstimulation. It's just like it's almost under simulation. Like I'm like getting bored repeating myself.
Exactly. Like, we're willing to have a meaningful conversation, but
Right.
the same answering the same 5 questions person to person, that's just not going to get it done.
Right. Like let's get deep. I want to get deep right off the bat, and I will talk to you for hours. Even if my battery runs out, like I'll keep going. But if you try to get me to engage in the same small talk that I just had 5 minutes ago, you're gonna find that I'm in the bathroom real quick. I spend a lot of. I swear, you guys like. I'm not kidding. Like, how often I go to the bathroom. I wonder if people notice and like think that I have a problem and just don't say anything. But like, I'm always in the bathroom. And it's like I said, I don't even know what I'm doing in there. I'm just like chilling.
Yeah. I mean, it's a safe space.
It is. Do you ever get this is like random and really has nothing to do with Thanksgiving, but I find that like when I'm in a really bright space, I tend to like need to recharge more often.
I don't think
Like
I've
like when
experienced
the lights are too strong.
I mean, I don't think I've experienced that, but that's
Oh
that's
my.
interesting.
Well, for most people, it's the noise, right? Like
Mhm.
if there's a lot of background noise, but like I said, I can't hear shit. Um, like I don't wear my hearing aids, but I wear my contacts, and I have very light eyes, so I feel like rather than getting over stimulated by the noise, I get overstimulated by the lights.
I mean, overstimulation comes in many forms, so
Right.
it's definitely not just noise. It can be lights, it can be noise, it can just be a bunch of people in a particular
Mm-hmm.
space. It really can be anything.
Right.
I think it depends on the person and kind of
Mm-hmm.
what their threshold is. So it's
Right.
definitely, I definitely think it's a real thing. But even we've been talking about the issues introverts can face during Thanksgiving. We don't want folks to think that we don't like Thanksgiving at all.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving.
Personally,
How
one of
much
my
cheese? What's your
yeah.
favorite Thanksgiving food? Like, what is like the thing that you look forward to all year?
So I like stuffing or dressing, as
Ooh, yeah, it's when
most
it's
call it.
homemade.
Yes, exactly. Like I will say I don't. I'm not getting into stuffing versus dressing like language and terminology. I like stuffing. That's what I'm calling it. So
Okay.
don't at me on this. Don't correct me on this. That's what I'm calling it.
Wait,
Uh,
what is the other term for it? I never even heard of
there's
that.
there's stuffing and there's dressing. To me, it's the same thing,
What the
but
hell is that? It's stuffing, guys. No, you can at me all you want. You're wrong.
like nah, it gets serious. It gets real
That's
serious.
wild.
Yeah.
Is that
So
like that almost reminds me of like the Sheetz versus Wawa debate. Like who cares? It's a gas station.
exactly. So I'm a big fan of stuffing. That's what I look forward to. I do like biscuits, homemade biscuits,
Mm.
when they're done properly. I I know I
They're
should
very
say
hard to make.
they are. That's why when they're done properly, I enjoy them. I know
Mhm.
turkey is like the obvious dish, but for me,
I
like
hate turkey.
yeah, I
Hot
like
take.
turkey, but I'm like it's not what I look forward to the most. Like I can get turkey
Right.
I eat turkey all year round, so I'm not really
Right.
you know at the front of the line to get turkey. So for me, it's definitely the stuffing, the biscuits, and whatever kind of dessert. So basically, carbs is what
Yeah.
I eat.
Carbs.
Just carbs.
I'm on an all carb diet on
exactly.
Thanksgiving, meaning it's all I eat.
Like it's probably the one time of the year where like I'm not eating meat primarily, which
Right.
which is odd because like the main attraction is the meat. But whatever,
Right. I feel like a lot of people just don't love turkey. Like I was trying to convince my parents for years to just like forego it and just like because my mom makes this incredible lasagna. If you're making it this year, mom, so excited. Make two. Um, but like so far we continue to have turkey. It's getting smaller by the year and being replaced with like other stuff like mac and cheese,
Mhm.
carbs, more types of potatoes, carbs. That's a carb? That's a starch.
The
Okay.
starch.
Um, I'm just not a big fan of turkey. I would love to have like a ham or a lamb.
Hey,
That would be dope. But so far, we've just continued to make the turkey.
so
Um,
I've definitely have had turkey. I've had chicken one year. I
ooh,
def-
interesting.
yeah, I've definitely had ham. I haven't had lamb. I think that would be dope. Have lamb.
Yeah, like a
That would be
roasted,
awesome.
like a slow cooked lamb, like in one of
Yes.
those like oven roasters or whatever, or like the what are those things that they roast the pig on with the apple?
Like a spit.
Yeah, yeah, that would be so good.
Hmm. Like one year I actually had I had a seafood fry, like a fish fry.
Ooh,
Yeah, because like I told my mom like what I'm not feeling like turkey this year. Like I want to have fish and shrimp, and that's kind of what I did. Like
wow, that's
there's
awesome.
yeah, there's no law that says we got to have turkey on Thanksgiving. like
As
I
far
have
as we
no,
know.
as far as you know, yes, but
Watch, we're like gonna get arrested after we post this podcast.
exactly, the Thanksgiving police gonna come and say, hey, you must have you must have this this turkey on Thanksgiving. But I mean, if you're gonna have turkey, I think you gotta do like for me the traditional baked turkey just is
Mm-hmm.
where it's at. I've
The deep
had
fried.
yes, I've had deep
So
fried
good.
turkey. I've had a Cajun turkey. I've gotten
Ooh.
I've gotten a Cajun turkey from from Popeyes of all places. and then I got one year a fried turkey from KFC. So shout out to KFC and Popeyes.
They do that? That's crazy. I never even heard of that.
Yes, and I don't know if it's the original thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think that KFC definitely does it. I don't know if Popeyes does it anymore. Like they had it like 1 year and it was awesome,
Hmm.
and they never did it again, and I was so hurt.
I feel like there's some kind of like silly meme out there about the KFC doing a turkey instead of chicken.
I don't know. They can say what they want. It was good. It
There's a
was.
good, there's a good joke in there that I can't think of right now, but I'll probably think of it as soon as we stop recording.
I mean, hey, it was definitely delicious, but yeah, I mean, you have to get creative with the turkey, in my opinion. It's just
Yeah, it's
just
good the next day.
agreed. Leftovers are very good.
Like turkey leftovers are for some reason like so much better than the turkey the day of.
It's because there's less people around.
Bringing it back to the introverted topic, exactly.
Yes, tastes better.
Do you ever feel like you're stuffing your face and everybody's like watching you, like just like and like judging you? Because I used to feel that way. Now I don't really care, but I used to feel so. I used to feel like I was like on like a stage or like a spotlight, and everybody was just staring, like judging how much food I was sticking in my mouth.
Yes and no. Because and so in in black households, yes, like if we see somebody like eating a lot at one time, or like or like grabbing a huge plate, we gonna say something.
Right. I think it's the same in Jewish households too.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we're very
Okay.
similar in that regard.
Yeah, it's like, boy, you sure hungry today, aren't you, baby? It's like, well, you really like that stuffing, So I know it's coming. It's not fun,
Right.
but at the same time, yeah, like you said, as you get older, as you kind of grow up, it's like whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm eating it, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna eat it too. Shut up.
yeah, like I'm not gonna stop eating. I got what I got because I wanted it, but
Right.
it's annoying because it's like I don't care if there's one person there or 100. Like I want to eat in peace. Like I'm not trying to bother anybody. I'm not talking about anybody else.
Right.
Why are you worried about me? Focus on your plate.
Right. You eat your plate. Like don't worry about what's on mine. Worry about what's on yours. Because if you keep worrying about what's on mine, I'm gonna take yours and eat that too.
Exactly.
um, my family. So I've like had weird issues with my weight for years. Like I was constantly on a diet. Now I just kind of eat like a normal amount of food, I guess. So I'm not really worried about like calories or stuff or anything. But for the longest time, like I would diet all year, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas for like the 2 days, and my birthday for like the couple days a year that like I would just it was like I hadn't eaten in a century. And my family would be like, "When was the last time you ate?" Like, I guess she needs a little bit of meat on her bones, like, or like it's about time that she actually ate like a human. Like,
Oh
and
my
it was
god.
all like it was all in good fun. Like they were always teasing me. But I was so sensitive. I could not take a joke, and I just would get so like defensive about what I was eating. And now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stuff my face. I eat so healthy all year. Like this is the one day a year where I get to eat like I haven't eaten in months, and like who cares? So I'm curious if like you've ever. I guess it's kind of like the opposite of body shaming. I don't know. Food shaming, I guess. And it used to drive me nuts. But I'm curious, like, what your thoughts are, what your experience has been with like people just commenting and like caring about what you eat.
I've definitely I've definitely had that. I've experienced that. Just folks just wanting to share their opinions on what I'm eating and how I'm eating, and how much, and I'm
Mhm.
always like, why are you so focused on me? Like, why? There is an entire spread here that we came here to enjoy, and you decided to spend your time talking about what I have on my plate. Why?
Mhm.
Why?
It's kind of like the politics. Like it's like there's so many people here that you can talk to about your stance. Like, why do you care what my opinion is? Like, stop.
Yeah, it's not why I'm there, and I'm not saying that I'm there solely for the food, but
Okay.
but again, that might
Kidding.
be
I am.
that might be how I feel, but that's not what that's not what I'm saying. So, I'll, I'll never say that. but but once it's time to commence with the eating portion of the show, eat. Why,
Right.
why are you so focused on me or anyone? Like, why are you so focused on someone else to the point where you feel the need to comment on whatever? Just like we came here to enjoy each other's company and have
Mhm.
a good meal. I don't say
Right.
why are you so focused on bringing negativity or just asinine opinions here. It does to me. It never made sense.
Right.
As I've gotten older, I've become less shy about responding in kind.
Mhm.
So, but I prefer not to let it get to that point. So,
Right.
but yeah, I've definitely experienced it. It's not fun. It's confusing as hell.
Right.
Because you're like, is this like you really came here for this? Like, it becomes obvious like that's really what they came here for, like to just
Right.
be an
Like
asshole.
right. Like you just eat what you're gonna eat. Stop projecting. Like I want to eat every bite of brie and chocolate peanut butter brownies and like roasted potatoes that I can get my hands on. Let me eat them in peace. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Like you really like those biscuits, Jay? Like, yes, bitch, I like them. Leave me alone.
Exactly. I like them. um. Well, I can't believe it's already. We've gotten a really good conversation in about Thanksgiving, and not gonna lie, it's not helping that I'm really hungry right now. Um, as per usual, as I always am at the end. Um, and all this talk about all my favorite Thanksgiving foods is making me want to just bite my microphone. So I think that is my cue to start to wrap up our Thanksgiving episode.
Yes, in general, this is how you know when to stop recording. Is when Steph gets hungry. That's the end of the episode.
When I start threatening to eat the mic, this is
Yes,
when we have
that's
to stop.
yep. Wrap it up.
So we're curious, what are your takeaways? What are your Thanksgiving tips for fellow introverts? What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? What are you looking forward to at the holidays and what are you dreading with the holidays? And if you wanted to do a follow-up episode after Thanksgiving but before Christmas, definitely let us know.
Yes, definitely let us know, and we will get on that. But we definitely appreciate you taking the time to tune in and listen to this episode. We hope that you have a wonderful, happy, and safe Thanksgiving, free of stress and full of wonderful food.
That is
That.
what he said.
What I said. So I'm going to take the ending this time. We want you to like, comment, review, all the things for this episode.
Do that.
Do that. Do the thing.
We are do the thing.
Do the thing.
And as per usual, stay introverted. And we will catch you guys next time.
See ya.
See ya.